One Piece is an anime that's famous for having over 1,000 manga chapters and now over 1,000 anime episodes. And it's very intimidating for someone who's never watched a single episode to catch up to, which is where I was previously. But finally, I decided I wanted to catch up. I wanted to see what it was about. And I put my foot down and I started watching them. And it was actually very easy for me to get to 500 episodes. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. And even though it's a lot of episodes to get through, I would recommend to anyone who's kind of interested in this, and especially if you watch other animes. So I'm at a point where I think it's a good break. There's a time skip at the point in the story where I'm at, and it's a good time for me to share my thoughts, I think, before I go on with another 500 episodes of anime to catch up. So I'm going to be ranking all the canon arcs in the anime so far in the series. And I'm going to start with something I feel very strongly about, and that's Skypiea being the worst arc that I've watched so far. I don't want to go like an hour into detail on each one of these arcs because I definitely could talk about all of them for a long time, but major point for me is Skypiea felt like a filler arc to me, and it was the main time that I reached for my phone or wanted to play something on my second monitor while watching. It just did not keep my attention at all. On the opposite spectrum, there are a couple that I feel really strong about and want to start off with. And the first one I think is my favorite arc so far that I've watched, which is Arlong Park. I will say, Arlong Park overall doesn't have as much going on for it as some of the other arcs, and that for a lot of people probably brings it lower. But I really think highly of media that can make me feel emotions, and Arlong Park made me feel more emotional than any other arc so far. When Nami finally asked for Luffy's help, like I actually had to get tissues because I was crying so hard. Like even later on when the Robin situation in Water 7 is very emotional, but this is the only time that I actually uncontrollably cried. Like Nami backstory there, and then whenever they did their walk to Arlong Park, it actually made me want to stand up and walk with them. Like hell yes, let's do this. Um, and I've never like felt more emotion from any other arc than that specific moment. So that's probably not just one of my favorite arcs so far of One Piece, but honestly, one of my favorite moments in any anime that I've watched of any kind. Um, Another one that I feel very strongly with that I wanted to start off with here is Marineford. Marineford is another one that I'm putting right up there with Arlong Park. It's different. There are definitely emotional moments. None of them that go quite as high or low for me as Arlong Park did. But this is where I was saying there's a lot going on in Marineford. That is definitely one of the ones where like every single episode I wanted to get to the next one. That's Marineford is where you start wanting to like stay up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning to keep watching because you're just like I can't go to bed. I need to see what happens next. And uh, that that was really like that's only and put in perspective. That was only like 50 episodes ago, or not even like 30 episodes ago. So it's still really fresh for me, and that was absolutely amazing. All right, so the rest of this I'm gonna do in order. We're just gonna kind of go through it. So Romance of Dawn arc, I think that's what it's called. Yep, very beginning. This one's hard. I'm gonna put it in A because it includes Luffy recruiting Zoro. I think if this arc was smaller and just the beginning before he got Zoro, I probably wouldn't. I mean, this is the one that starts the whole anime off, right? And so there's a lot of nostalgia value, and it's good in its own right, but it's not as hooking and emotional as the ones I've ranked above it already. So there, I'm gonna put it in A. Orange Town, which is next. This is when um, we get more of introduction to Nami, but also Buggy's introduced. I'm in between a B and a C. Um, Later on, we'll talk about it. I've actually come to enjoy Buggy's character, but when Buggy was first introduced here, I did not like his character at all. And I honestly like this is the first ship. All the ships in the series, I don't know. I mean, I assume you've watched One Piece if you're watching this because it doesn't really, or maybe you want to watch One Piece. So if that's the case, um, all the pirates have like theme ships, and this is like one of the first theme ships you're introduced to is Buggy clown ship, and it was a little over the top for me. And his two people you have in the picture here that are like his two crew. I'm at, you know what? I'm talking myself into C. I think I'm going to Orangetown to C. I think this was weak in the beginning, and definitely I could understand some people starting to already get tired of it in the beginning there. Next is I think it's actually called Syrup Village, which I tell you right now, my memory, I forgot the name of the village, which is a good reason. Another good reason why I should rank this one lower is I don't even remember the exact details of it. But this is when they get Usopp, and the villain is like the servant dude, but he turned out he was a pirate captain who faked his death, and you get like the first like real big fight with someone crazy in this. But overall, other than adding Usopp to the crew, I didn't really love it that much. So see. So the next one is Baratie, which for me, so like in order. So we start off with like something that I'm ranking up so high, honestly, because it sets the foundation, and then kind of mediocre. Baratie is where like it goes back up some. I'm talking myself out of A. It's going into B tier. I think it's better than the two arcs that just came before it. But other than like the Hawkeye and Zoro battle, there was no real big moment that I latched onto. Sanji as a character is cool. His introduction was cool. But I think honestly, even the fact that I'm saying the Hawkeye Zoro fight was my favorite moment in it kind of actually speaks badly about the restaurant part. So next is Loguetown, which is the place where Gold Roger was executed. Mm, I might have to go back and tweak these. I'm gonna put this one and B tier as well. And maybe I should rank these like in order too. It's definitely it's Baratie. It's in between A or B, but I just don't know if I put it into A. This is where Smoker gets introduced and Luffy kind of gets saved twice. Um, those near death saves kind of a little can be a little stupid sometimes for me personally. Um, but yeah, I don't have much more to say about that. I just it's in between B or A for me. It's a solid one. I don't think there's any standout crazy moment. I mean, you see Luffy's father for the first time. You get entered like you don't actually even know. I don't think he shows up for the first time. Smoker is a cool character, but I don't think just because a cool character got introduced is enough alone. Um, yeah, it's a B tier for me. Next is our first arc on the Grand Line, which is Reverse Mountain. I'm going B for this one in between Baratie and that. I think it's another one. It's just it like the foundation, the information and stuff it's setting up here is good, and I do like the story of oh my god, Laboon. Yes, I was like about to forget his name. I do love the story of Laboon, but I actually the fact that I think that the story of Laboon is stronger when we introduce Brook versus in this arc itself makes me keep it out of A. So I think that one's decent, but yeah, okay. I'm happy with that. Whiskey Peak. Huh. Whiskey Peak is definitely on the weaker side. I think it's going into C tier above these two. If there was no reveal of the queen or like the princess, sorry, I think the arc would have been really bad. Like I don't know. There is merit to like the way that people tried to trick them into sleeping and stuff and to take them out. Like that was actually kind of smart. Like this is the first time I've seen assassins do something other than just try to fight you straight up. And I appreciate that. I'm just thinking about it. I think part of it is the characters, like the Mister Nine. I think, and like all those like lower rank Baroque works agents, not really that interesting to me. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I think going Whiskey Peaks to see. Next, we have a Little Garden, which is right after Whiskey Peaks. This is the introduction of our giants, and we learn about Elbath, the city of warrior giants, and the garden. What's holding me back on this is really where Mister Three shines in combat, and I don't like Mister Three. This is also another one where everything goes wrong because Luffy's not there, and then when Luffy shows up, it kind of gets saved. Like that happens a lot. Really happened in Skypiea, especially. Like Skypiea, Luffy was literally inside of a snake. The whole like, come on. I've taught myself. This is also going to sea. I love some of the characters and some of the things they introduced, and I love the idea of an island with dinosaurs, but it's on the lower end for me. So we're going C. Next is Drum Island, and this one's A for me. This is the first actual like now we're picking up a little bit for me because the cherry blossoms. It's mainly all just about. Uh, oh my gosh, I forgot his name first. Chopper. It's all about Chopper's backstory, and I ended up coming to really really love. I forgot her name right now, but the old witch lady. And then I think his name was Dalton, the guy who could like turn himself into an ox. I love his character. Yeah, I'm talking about. I like Drum Island, and it also was the first island they found on accident because they had to take an immediate stop to try to get Nami help. I liked it. That's it. All right, next we have Alabasta or Arabasta, as I learned from looking it up, is actually what it's called. This arc has to go into A alone. I think we're gonna end up putting the first arc at the end of A after A. So, yeah, it even goes above Drum Island. I think. I love Crocodile, in this as a character. Um, I like the character design. I'm. This was the last time they did where like they had a concept where they were doing Logia's had like a direct counter, like the lightning Logia direct counter was Luffy's rubber ability, stuff that can't conduct lightning. Then this one was like sand was directly countered by water, so when he figured that out, boom, he was able to fight him. Um, I just think there's so much going on in the Alabasta that it's hard to not say that it was good, and I did enjoy watching almost all of it. There were some bad moments that make me that makes me hesitate, right? But it doesn't make me say that it's bad. I have some hesitations, so that's why it's not into S. So next is Jaya Town. This is the one right before Skypiea. It will go above Skypiea because I like the Bellamy encounter. Like I like that Zoro and Luffy let Bellamy's crew beat him up because they didn't respect them. And then whenever Bellamy went over the line and came back and kicked his ass, like just instantly, we're like, well, that was epic. And definitely, I think that one actually goes into B tier. This is going to be maybe a controversial opinion. I don't know. I feel like the Davy backfight arc here is like you either love it or you hate it, and I'm a person who hates it. I did not like Foxy. I don't like the. It just felt like a joke the whole time, and I guess I would have been okay with it if Luffy didn't agree to do a second Davy backfight. When he agrees to do the second one, it was really like we watched the whole first one. He gets his crew back, everything's fine. I'm like, okay, we can move on. Thank goodness. And then Luffy's like, let's do another one. And then I'm like, I have to watch more. Yeah. So that is the first joiner of Skypiea in D tier for me. Davy backfight, not a fan. Not a fan of Foxy's character. All right, Water 7 is definitely A or S. It's definitely A or S. I think it's the same thing I feel with Alabasta, where it is really good, but I have hesitations that keep me from going to S. I think it will overtake Alabasta as my top A pick, but I don't think I'd quite put it in the S tier. And then following that, we have Enies Lobby, which while Enies Lobby had the moment with Robin and the moment with all of them standing on the other side of that gap, opening the bridge or whatever, drawbridge, that moment was really awesome. And also the moment of Luffy beating Rob was awesome. The rest of it, I just personally didn't like as much. I think they did a sin for me when they said, "Oh, Robin, you have to get key. You have to get a key to unlock Robin's handcuffs." And so what we've done, because we want to give you a fight, is all of us have our own key, and so you have to go kill it. Like that is a sin for me in writing. Like oh, we could just destroy the key or do something like that. No, we're gonna give you a chance, but we're gonna make it where you have to like have these one-on-one battles, and so that the writer can match it up with characters of equal skill, and we can have all these intent. I don't like that. And so while there is really good moments, this is my. It's still putting it in A overall. Still liked it, but because of that sin for me, it's going at the back of A tier. Next, we have Post-Enies Lobby. There's nothing spectacular about Post-Enies Lobby for me. I love that we get to see Kobe again, which is why I chose this picture. So I think I'm putting it at the end of A. Right after, it's hard to separate this one into its own. Like for me to think about all the stuff that happened. Like this is when Garb visits him, and you find out about his father, and everything. Yeah, this might be B tier. I think I'm putting it top of B tier. Putting it Loguetown though. Nah, I'm putting it B tier behind Loguetown is where I'm settling with Post-Enies Lobby, just because it doesn't have enough stuff that is really amazing happening in it. And if it does have something amazing happen, then that means it was bad because I don't remember it. It's not a positive thing if I'm forgetting something that would have made it amazing. Um, so anyway, next on the journey is Thriller Bark. When Thriller Bark was first introduced, like the first few episodes, like we got Brooke, the skeleton on floating on a ship, and then we got zombies stuff. Like it actually thematically was really interesting. So we're looking at A tier here, in between A and S. I don't think it's S tier for me. I think there are hesitations I have. I think it's going behind Arabasta. I think Arabasta had too much going on um, for me to rank it above Arabasta. Next is oh my god, why am I? Yeah, the Sabaody or Archipelago. I think this is top A tier for me. I love that we're finally getting to see the other rookie pirates with really huge bounties. Um, I love everything that happened. Like this is where the crew gets separated. That was such an intense moment. You know what? Now I'm thinking about it again because so much happens here that I really love. Like when they all come together, I love seeing the auction house. I mean, I hate the celestial dragons, and that I'm really mad at them, and I hate what they do. But that's what the show wants you to feel. So I felt that. I'm talking. It's S tier. This is S tier. Yeah, meeting the other ones, the hating the celestial dragons, the human auction, and then when they all fight the admiral and they lose, and then Rayleigh pops up. This is when it really the show starts becoming something different. I think. Next is Amazon Lily. Amazon Lily is A tier for me, but I think we're going bottom of A tier. I have to think about this one for a second. I don't really. It's hard for me to really explain how I feel, but I just say that I don't feel super strongly in a positive way about it, and I don't feel super strongly in a negative way about it. I feel more towards the middle, but I will say it's better than what I have down here in the middle. So this is it. At the bottom of A tier. Next is Impel Down. Impel Down. I want to have a mention real quick. This arc made me love Buggy's character. Like I thought Buggy's character was super annoying, as I said early on, in the Orange arc. But seeing him with just the one ponytail, and like him in the prison, and like he's really embodying very well the character who just ends up doing stuff by accident. Um, and then also Bon Clay, Mister Two. God, I didn't really love in Arabasta arc Mister Two. I didn't. Well, now that we're thinking about it, when I talked about Arabasta, I didn't even mention number two at all. But number two in the prison, and when he gives up his, oh my gosh, that actually is so amazing. And his character is awesome now. This is top of A tier. I don't think it's S tier. I think it's better than Water Seven even. Impel Down was very good. Impel Down definitely made me watch every single episode for sure. All right, and then finally we have the backstory for Ace Luffy and the introduction of Sabo, and we got Luffy's training at the end of the arc too. I don't know, man. I started not. I didn't. I enjoyed the little kid story, but I also wanted to like play on my phone at the same time. Like I was getting a little bored. I think we're going. I think we're going behind Loguetown. I okay. I think this is good. Arlong Park, Marineford, Archipelago, Impel Down, Water 7, Alabasta, Thriller Bark, Drum Island, the first arc, Ennis Island, Amazon Lily, Loguetown. I feel happy with this. All right. So that'll do it. I'm going to go watch some more One Piece. Hope you have a great day. Peace.